Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I'm going to start from the very last topic I discussed in my previous lecture. We were discussing chemistry of colors. We looked into the chemistry of colorants. Then we took a bit intro about the dyes. We came to know about the pigments, the difference between the dyes and the pigment. Dyes are, broadly speaking, at the moment of time, the material which we apply on cotton fabric, on leather and etc. materials for the dyeing purposes. Such materials are dyes. I explained to you guys, they are supposed to be organic salts. Why they are salts? They are supposed to be water soluble because we perform dyeing process using water as a medium. So they are supposed to be water soluble. They are supposed to be organic salts and water soluble. What are the dyes and what are the classification of dyes? I told you there are acidic dyes, there are basic dyes. They can be reactive. Some dyes are called wet dyes, some are direct dyes. Whatever they are, there are 4, 5, 6, 7 classes of the dyes are known. As we move on, I will explain one by one the class, each and every class of the dye, with a special consideration of their chemistry. How the dyes are produced, that's going to be our today's topic. What are the dyes for they are produced? In order to produce the dyes, I've given you a very simple sort of a clue that the molecule should carry conjugation. The molecule should carry conjugation. The molecule which is supposed to act as a dye at the final stages, they are supposed to carry the conjugation. How conjugation is introduced in different molecules so that they become colorants. For that very purpose, we need to learn basic chemistry, basic reactions. Basic reactions. Basic reactions of different molecules. Let's say, if sometimes I add a sort of a molecule and ask you to what sort of reaction it is supposed to display, what sort of reaction it is supposed to show. Similarly, I can have another molecule like this way. I can ask you what sort of the reaction it will display, what sort of the reaction it can show, Similarly, I can have another type of molecules and ask you what sort of the reaction it is supposed to undergo. Similarly, you would have heard about the alkenes, cis and trans alkenes. What sort of the reactivity it is supposed to undergo. So, a number of molecules are available around. A number of classes of the molecules are known. By looking at the molecule, what comes to your mind? What sort of the reaction it will display? What sort of the reaction it will undergo? What sort of the reaction it will undergo? What sort of the reactivity is expected to show by this gentleman? I just want to give you a brief idea about this, the basics about the reactivity of the molecule. Let's say I can start with this very simple example, with a very simple molecule. If you have this sort of a molecule number 1 called as an alkene, there could be some other molecules, like I could draw the same way, but this molecule carries a double bond. They are supposed to be alkenes. Similarly, I can now have some other molecules, this type, molecule number 3, in the form of an alkyne. Similarly, you guys have heard a lot about the benzenes. I could write it as a molecule number 4. Similarly, the carbonyl derivatives, carbonyl compounds, so and so forth, they could be written as the candidates of the reactions. So if I ask you the molecule number 1, what sort of the reactivity, what sort of the reaction it is expected to display? As we have an idea, the molecule carries single bonds, mean its valency is filled, so nothing new can add into it. Any electrophile or a nucleophile, it can't come to attack on this molecule. Why? Can't come to get add on this molecule, because the valency is already filled. So no more addition is expected in case of the molecule number 1. In case of the molecule number 2 and the molecule number 3, there is a double bond between carbon. There is a double bond between carbon and carbon. Means somebody can come in to make a bond over here, because it has one bond with the hydrogens with one bond with the carbon. So it is generally expected to show 4 bonds. At the moment it has 2 bonds. So 2 more can be built up to know it can take the 2 new entities. Similarly, this body has 2 hydrogen around and 2 carbons bonds with the carbon, so somebody can get in to make additions, so it can undergo additions. Similarly, it can undergo additions. Someone can come in to get add on it, then the reaction will be called as an addition. Over here, this molecule is supposed to undergo substitution rather addition, because the valency is already filled. Hydrogens are around everywhere. When there is no valency is written, it means hydrogen is around. So if already hydrogens are present, the carbon is expected to show 4 bonds. It has 4 bonds, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it can't undergo additions. It can't go substitution. Somebody can come in to kick this hydrogen out. Let's say I can write some L is coming in. It can kick hydrogen out, and then L can take the position of hydrogen. So somebody has been kicked out, someone has get in, so it has means the reaction has been taken place in the form of substitution. One has been replaced by the other, so substitution. Over here, someone can come in to break the bond, and let's say L can attach at this side, and some other part of the L that can attach over here. So it can undergo additions. Molecules which carry double and triple bond, they are supposed to undergo additions. The molecules which carry single bonds, they are supposed to undergo substitutions. Similarly over here, in case of carbonyl compounds, there is a double bond between carbon and oxygen in this case as well. So somebody can come in from outside to make a bond with carbon, bond number 4, because at the moment is connected with 3 entities from 1, 2 and side number 3, 1, 2 and then third on the other side. So somebody can come in to make new bonds, means they are supposed to undergo additions. They could undergo addition reactions. So I may conclude my words as the molecules which are saturated, means which have filled valencies, they will not show additions, they are supposed to undergo substitutions. On the other hand, molecules which are unsaturated, means they carry double and triple bond, they have the capacity to undergo additions rather substitutions, so they are supposed to show addition reactions. What's about the benzenes, the striking molecule, interesting molecule? As far as your chemistry background is concerned, you would have learned during your FSC classes. The benzene is more or like saturated one. It behaves as a saturated molecule. Benzene. Apparently seems that it carries 3 double bonds. So as I've just explained to you guys, any molecule which carries double bond, it is supposed to undergo additions because of its unsaturated nature. That's okay, fine with the linear molecules, but in case of benzenes, these double bonds are not true double bonds. In your FSC classes, you have learned about the structure of benzenes. Over there, it has very well been explained that these double bonds are not the true double bond, they are more like single bonds. Not true double bond, they are more like single bond. So if a molecule carries single bond, means it is supposed to act as a saturated one. So once somebody is saturated, mean it can't get anything from outside. It can't undergo additions. However, in case of benzenes, we have ideas. It carries 6 carbons and every carbon carries 1 proton. So if you want to make benzene react with somebody, it can undergo reaction. However, what will happen? One from outside can come in to kick this proton out. The proton will be moved out, and then E can replace that one. Mean when one can come in, the one has to move out. This is called substitution reaction. So benzenes are supposed to undergo substitutions. If I'm to sum up this discussion from the last 4 or 5 minutes or so, I came to the conclusion that if the molecules are saturated ones, saturated are those which carry single bonds. They can't undergo addition. They are supposed to undergo substitutions only. Okay, the molecules which carry single bonds like alkanes, alkyl halides, yes, ethers, they are supposed to undergo substitutions only. Alkenes and alkynes carries double bonds. The carbon has the capacity to add somebody who can come to attack at the carbon. It can provide the place for the addition. So they undergo additions. In case of the benzene, I just discussed with you guys, the benzene carries 3 double bonds. As an apparent look, it looks like the molecules is a saturated, unsaturated one because of the presence of double bonds. But as far as its structure is concerned, it has very well known that the benzene's double bonds are not true double bonds. They are more or less more like single bonds. So the molecule is supposed to be saturated rather than unsaturated. If the molecule is a saturated, means it is supposed to undergo substitution. Now the question arises, what sort of the substitution? What sort of the additions? There are 2 types of additions, there are 2 types of substitutions. Up to elaborate on this point now. Let me recall it again. Molecule, better to write the other way. Molecules are mainly of 2 types. They are supposed to be saturated, the ones which carry single bonds. Examples are alkenes, the examples are alcohol, the examples are alkyl halides. The other molecules are supposed to be unsaturated. The molecules which carry double or triple bonds, the molecule which carries carbonyl functionalities, they are supposed to be the unsaturated ones. Yes, we place benzene also in the category of saturated ones because the double bonds are not the true double bonds. As I've told you earlier, these saturated molecules, they are supposed to undergo substitution. The unsaturated, they are supposed to undergo additions, addition reactions, substitution reactions, additions. Further, the substitution is supposed to be of two types. One is called nucleophilic. We denote it generally writing Nu negative, means somebody having negative charge, that is supposed to be a nucleophilic species, and if it undergoes gets involved into any reaction, that is called nucleophilic reaction. Similarly, the substitution can be an electrophilic. Mean substitution of an electrophile. Substitution of a nucleophile, substitution of an electrophile. Mean if a molecule, let's say the alkane, we have an idea it carries protons. All around are the protons. Protons being weaker carries positive charges. So somebody having positive charges is supposed to be an electrophile. It has to undergo substitution, mean existing electrophile has to be replaced by another electrophile. So an E2 can come in by kicking out E1, which is a proton. So an electrophile can come in, that is E2 can get the place of a proton. The proton will be kicked out as H positive. Mean when proton has come in, the other proton has been removed. One electrophile has been moved in, the other electrophile has been kicked out. Mean one has substituted the other. One positive species has substituted the other. Positive species mean electrophile. Such reaction will be regarded as electrophilic substitution. When it happens when the molecule has only protons. No other choice. Protons are electrophiles, so they are supposed to undergo electrophilic substitutions. Now see this molecule, the alcohol and the alkyl halides. They are also saturated ones. They are also supposed to undergo substitution reactions. What sort of substitution? Again, either electrophilic or nucleophilic. We see at this structure of the nucleophile, structure of the molecule. It carries OH in the form of a negative, chloro in the form of a negative. Negative entity means a nucleophile. So some nucleophile from outside, Nu negative, can come in kicking this body out. Some nucleophile from outside can come in kicking this body out. Okay, so this will be called as a nucleophilic substitution. So nucleophilic substitution happens when the molecule already contains one nucleophile. The electrophilic substitution when the molecule already contains an electrophile. So electrophile can substitute the other electrophile, the nucleophile substitute the nucleophile. There is not even a single chance of cross substitution, mean an electrophile cannot substitute a nucleophile, or a nucleophile cannot substitute an electrophile. So substitution is always of the same type. Let's say if in case of a cricket match, a batsman has to be replaced by a batsman. You can't bring in somebody who plays football into the match in a cricket match. Similarly, a football player will be replaced with a football player. You can't ask the Shahid Afridi to replace the any footballer, this won't happen. Similarly, in case of the molecules, electrophile will replace the electrophile, nucleophile will replace the nucleophile. So in case of saturated molecules, both sort of substitutions happens, nucleophilic, electrophilic. What will happen, it depends what the molecule already contains. If it contains an electrophile, then an electrophile will come to replace it. Similarly, if the molecule contains a nucleophile, then a nucleophile will come in to replace that one. Now let me move to the saturated types. The molecules which are saturated ones, they undergo additions. Similarly, additions are also of two types. They are supposed to be same, electrophilic and they are supposed to be nucleophilic. Both additions can happen. Where they will happen? They are supposed to happen on unsaturated molecules. Let's say we take the example of this alkene, where there is a double bond is present. Double bond means the presence of electrons, excess of electron is there. So someone can come in to get those electrons. Who will come? Who needs electron? Who needs electron? Somebody who has a positive charge on it. So an electrophilic addition can happen at alkenes. Similarly, excess of electron is there in case of alkynes and also an electrophile addition can happen on it. Why? Because these molecules contain excess of electrons. Pi electrons are available on alkene-alkyne. Electrophiles, they need electrons, so they can come in. Nucleophile cannot attack on such systems. Why? Because they already contains negative charge. Mean they have electron, extra electron. Here are also electrons. So like repels like. They will not react with each other. Excess of electron, they will repel each other, no more reactions. However, it needs electron, it has electron, so they can combine with each other. This is over here as well. It's an electrophile, can attack on an alkyne because it also carries excess of electron. Excess of electron could be received by those who are electron deficient, who needs electron, and those are electrophiles. Let me move to the next system, and that is carbonyl carbon. Aldehydes, they could be ketones. We have an idea, it's a double bond between carbon and an oxygen. And there is a electrophilic difference of electronegativity. Due to that difference, this is supposed to be slightly negative. This carbon is supposed to be partially positive. This positive centered carbon provide a chance for a nucleophile to attack on it. Positive mean it needs electron. Mean this carbon gets partial positive charge, mean it needs electron. The nucleophile, it has extra electron, so it can donate. That's why these two bodies can react with each other. So carbonyl compounds which carry carbonyl functionalities, aldehydes, ketones, even the derivatives like esters, acids, amides, they are supposed to react with the nucleophiles because this carbon gets positive charge due to the partial electronegative difference. At the positive charge, this negative can attack on this such species. So whenever you saw a molecule, the first thing that should come to your mind about its reactivity, you need to look whether the molecule is saturated or unsaturated. If saturated mean valency is filled, mean no addition, only substitution, okay? Then what sort of substitution? If the molecule already contains protons, electrons, electrophiles, mean then some electrophile come in and could replace the existing electrophile, then electrophilic substitution, okay? I'm repeating it again. If the molecule is a saturated one, means valency is filled, mean no addition could happen. However, existing electrophile could be replaced with another electrophile. So it could undergo electrophilic substitution. Similarly, if your molecule is again a saturated one, yes, it will not undergo addition, it will undergo substitution, but instead of electron, it already carries negative centers, negative parts, mean it has a nucleophilic part. Then it will undergo nucleophilic substitution. Some negative nucleophile can come in by kicking out the other nucleophile. So it could undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. So substitution happens in saturated molecules depending upon their own structure. If they have electrophiles, they will undergo electrophilic substitution. If they have nucleophiles, they will undergo nucleophilic substitutions. On the other side, if the molecule carries double or triple bonds, mean they are unsaturated. Unsaturated means who are not fully saturated, whose valency is not fully filled. Carbon is supposed to have 4 valency, but at the moment it has 2 valency and 3 valency. Means somebody can get added into such molecules. Unsaturated molecules are supposed to undergo additions. Again, the question arises, what sort of the addition it is supposed to show? It depends again on the structure, nature of the molecule. If the molecule contains double or triple bond, means it contains excess of electrons. So somebody who needs electron can come and get added on the molecule. So electrophilic addition will happen. If the system carries partial positive charge, then there will be a chance of a negative to come in and get added to it. That will be called as a nucleophilic addition. So what sort of the activity, what sort of the reactivity will be executed by the molecule depends on its nature. So whenever you see a molecule and you need to find out its reactivity, whether it will react with nucleophile or it is supposed to react with any electrophile, what sort of the reaction it will show, you need to actually look into its structure. The first thing should be, you need to find out whether it's a saturated or unsaturated. That's the first line of action that will determine your next thought process. If the saturated, definitely it will not undergo addition. It is supposed to undergo substitution only. However, if you find the molecule is an unsaturated, mean double or triple bond is there, the valence is not filled yet, then you may imagine that it could undergo additions. Okay, now the question arises, I've already explained to you what sort of the addition it will be, what sort of the substitution it will be. That depends upon the original structure of the molecule. If it already carries electrophiles in the form of H hydrogens, hydrides, H positives, protons really, they could be replaced by any other E2, electrophile number 2, it can come and kicking the proton out. However, if your molecule is saturated, but instead of protons, it also carries a negative center, OH is there, Cl negative is there, then it means it's a negative, then some negative can replace it. Some negative can replace the negative because it is supposed to undergo substitution. Then the molecule's reactivity pattern will be the nucleophilic substitution. Similarly, if the molecules are unsaturated, as I've explained to you, if they carries excess of electron, the electrophiles can come in and get added, then it will be electrophilic addition. If the given molecule carries carbonyl functionality like aldehydic, ketonic functionality, or a derivative of aldehyde ketone, then they're supposed to undergo reaction with nucleophiles. I will not explain that derivatives do not undergo nucleophilic additions, they undergo nucleophilic substitution. I will explain it in a separate lecture. So after explaining these 2-3 things, I think it is very much clear for you about the reactivity patterns. Now after going through these molecules, let me come to the benzene, the one which is important in all aspects, whether you are dealing with medicinal chemistry, whether you are dealing with simple organic synthesis, or you are dealing with colors and dyes And at the moment we are interested for the synthesis of dyes, we need to use benzene a lot, and most of the time I used to call it zero molecule because each and every aspect can get start from the benzene. As I've told you, benzene's double bonds are more like single bonds, so it is supposed to act as a saturated molecule. So when the molecule is saturated means it should not undergo addition, it should undergo substitution only. Let me erase the others. So the benzene is supposed to undergo substitution. Benzene used to undergo substitution reactions. Again, what sort of the substitutions? We have discussed electrophilic as well as nucleophilic. In case of benzenes, the carbons carries protons which are supposed to be partially, slightly positive, mean they are electrophile, means they could be replaced by some electrophile. Benzene is supposed to undergo substitution. What sort of the substitution? It is supposed to be an electrophilic substitution. That's the point where my story will start about the synthetic chemistry, whether I'm dealing with the synthesis of medicinal compounds, whether I'm dealing with the synthesis of the color and dyes, whether I'm interested in the synthesis of bioactive molecules. What sort of the domain of the chemistry I'm to deal with? I'm to start with the reactions of benzene. If you have a better understanding about the reactivity of benzene, it will make a lot simpler for you guys to understand the future reactions in any domain of chemistry. Benzene is too important in all aspects, in all respects, So electrophilic substitution, it is supposed to undergo an electrophilic substitution. Is that fine for you or not? So benzenes are supposed to undergo electrophilic substitutions. Let's say if somebody asks you to react this benzene with let's say someone asks you to react it with amine, NH2 and aniline. This sort of the reaction is given to you and we ask you to write the products. We have an idea, this nitrogen carries lone pair of electrons. What will be the product? Just try to imagine. At the moment we could see that it's a benzene, and we have an idea the benzene is supposed to undergo substitution, electrophilic substitution. So somebody who carries positive charge should come from outside. Somebody who carries positive charge should come from outside because our proton also carries positive charge, partial positive. So somebody having positive charge should come from outside. At the moment, in case of this molecule, this body NH2 carries lone pair of electrons. Presence of electron means negative charge. So somebody having negative charge is supposed to act as a nucleophile rather than an electrophile. So it's a nucleophile. I can write Nu to come with to replace the proton. Will that happen or not? No, it will not happen. No reaction at all. It carries proton from outside. You have a negative charge species called a nucleophile. A nucleophile cannot replace an electrophile, so there will not be a product. You should write no reaction. What you do, what the people do, students, if they don't have an idea about the basics of the reactivity of the reaction, they try to produce any sort of the product or what has been given to you guys. So that should not be the case with you. As far as I've explained to you guys, you need to look what sort of the reactants are. If it carries protons, so some protons should come from outside to replace it. At the moment in this given molecule, this body is a nucleophile. So nucleophile cannot replace an electrophile. Cannot replace, so there will not be a reaction. No reaction. Similarly, let's say we give you again benzene and we ask you to react it with water. We have an idea, we can write water as well in this way, HOH, hydrogens and negative, 2 hydrogen and oxygen. We can write this body in this form as well. So means there is one electrophile and there is one nucleophile, OH negative, and one is H positive. In case of benzene, we have predetermined that. Now we have planned that it could react with protons only. So in this molecule of water, we have OH negative. So it's quite certain now it will not react because it's a negative entity. It will not come to replace the proton. It will not come to replace the proton. So no reaction. However, the other part of the water, it is also some positive charge. H positive. Not H3, it's an H positive. It's also an H positive. So it can come to replace it. So one electrophile can replace the other electrophile, you know. It can replace, so reaction can happen. However, in this case, the proton from the outside and the proton the inside mean electrophile which is attached to benzene and the electrophile which comes from the outside. They are same. They have the same capacity, same powers. Both are same protons. They will not replace each other. For the replacement, for the substitution, the incoming should be stronger one. The one which has to come from outside, it should be stronger so it can kick out the one which is already attached. This body is supposed to be stronger one so that it can replace the one which is already attached to the molecule. If the both have the same capacity, same potential, same power, means they are same in their chemistry, then again it will not react again. So both option has been nullified. Again I can write no product or I can write no reaction. Now you understand what I'm trying to convey you guys. I'm convey you guys the reaction will happen in a proper fashion. The electrophile will be replaced by the electrophile. A nucleophile will be replaced by the nucleophile. There can't be a cross substitution. Electrophile cannot be replaced by a nucleophile, or a nucleophile cannot be replaced by an electrophile. Okay, so electrophile has to be replaced by an electrophile. Further, the incoming body is supposed to be stronger than the one which is already attached. If the incoming is a weaker one, then there will not be reaction again. So you need to keep that in mind. The one which will come as a reactant has to be more powerful than the one which is already attached. Then the substitution will happen. Otherwise, there won't be any substitution. Okay. So substitution reactions also depend upon the strength of the incoming electrophile. If the incoming is stronger, then it can kick out the already attached existing electrophile, and the reaction will be a substitution one. So this is how you can imagine by simply looking at the molecules what sort of the reactivity they are supposed to show, whether saturated molecule is there, whether unsaturated molecule is there. The saturated carries protons, electrophiles, or the saturated carries nucleophiles, then the corresponding nucleophile come to further substitution. If the molecule carries unsaturation, mean double or triple bond are there, then they can undergo additions. Again, what sort of the addition will be? Either electrophilic addition or nucleophilic additions. That depends again. If the molecule contains pi bond, double or triple bond, means somebody who's an electron deficient, mean electrophile can come and get attached, can get added on the molecule. Electrophilic addition will happen. However, if the molecule carries positive center for addition, okay, then any positive can't come in. Positive can't react. So somebody having negative charge, mean nucleophile, can get add on certain systems. So aldehydes and ketones undergo addition reactions, benzene undergoes substitution reactions, alkanes, alkyl halides, alcohols, saturated ones undergo substitution reactions. Alkanes undergo electrophilic, alkyl halides and alcohols undergo nucleophilic substitution. I hope you got the basic idea about the reactivity of different molecules. Now from next onward, I will keenly be explaining the reactivity of benzene only. I will take this body to the next level, the reactivity of this body. As I've told you, it is supposed to undergo electrophilic substitution. In your FSC classes, you have learned about nitration of benzene, sulfonation of benzene, acylation of benzene, alkylation of benzene. These all are examples of electrophilic substitution reactions. How they happen, what are the mechanistic aspects of those reactions, I will explain those to you so that you can get familiar with the reactivity of this fascinating molecule. It's a zero molecule because you can start from here to build your career in any domain of the chemistry. I hope you got the basic concepts, basic idea. Thank you very much. Even then, if you have any questions, queries, you can put those in comment area on my YouTube channel, ChemHub, or you may you may approach me via WhatsApp group, or you can send me simply an email. I will be happy to respond to you all. Thank you very much for your kind patience, time and attention, please. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.